Imagine living in a time when there is no writing or map, no law, no state, only nature. And you. Imagine your family being murdered before your eyes, but you have no choice but to remain still and silent. So you decide to take revenge. This is not a fictional story, but a dramatic account of a true story, inspired by the oldest documented murder in human history. Its hero is a man who lived more than 5,000 years ago. His name is unknown, but today we call him the Iceman. The film begins in the Alps, more than 3,000 years BC. Nature here is not a friend, it is a constant adversary. Man does not live in it, he survives from it. We meet Caleb, a hunter and leader of a small tribe. He doesn't speak much, but he is imposing. He carries the gaze of a man who has seen death too much. The tribe is simple, food is limited. The people are primitive, but there is love, friendship, and a sacred internal order among them. The center of this order is something called Tineka, a sacred statue of wood and bone. It represents the spirit of the tribe, its connection to the gods and nature. One day, Caleb goes hunting. During his absence, a group of strangers appear. Strange-looking men, their faces painted in ash, their gazes wild. Without warning, they attack the village. They burn the huts, slaughter the women and children, and steal Tineka. The massacre is carried out in silence. No dialogue, just fire, screams, and then silence. This is where the tragedy begins. The key word in the film is silence. There's no sad music to guide you through how you feel, for just you and Caleb sharing the emptiness, the anger, and the suppressed tears. In one of the most painful scenes, Caleb buries his family. He places his child in his wife's arms, then seals the grave with stones. No wailing, no screaming, just one last kiss, then looks up at the sky. Here he decides he has nothing left to lose. The fire consumes what's left of his past, and he begins a journey of no return. The film becomes a journey of survival. Caleb patiently follows his killers step by step. He sleeps in caves, fights a wolf, treats his wounds with a blazing fire. We find no dialogue, only the sound of nature. The director films the mountains as if they were a living being, silent yet observant, and the earth as if it knew this man carried death in his heart. And here's the irony. In the middle of the bloody journey, Caleb discovers a baby. He rescues him, feeds him, protects him, as if a part of his humanity still lives. When he finally reaches them, he doesn't speak. He doesn't negotiate. He fights them to the end. The scene is bloody, but it's not Hollywood-style cinematic. It's realistic, cold, and intense. And here comes the film's punch. Caleb kills a man who had no involvement. The man's last look says it all, and Caleb begins to cry. A revenge blinds him. Caleb tries to return, but the snow is thick and the path is lost. In his last moments, he sits near a rock, hugs Tineka, looks up at the sky, and dies. And so the mountain buries this secret until it is discovered thousands of years later and is called the Iceman. Scientists found his body in 1991 along with his tools and arrow fragments in his shoulder, and that was the beginning of the oldest murder case in human history. The Iceman is not an action movie. It's a meditation on violence, on humanity, on the silence that creates the most violent stories. It's a visual cinematic experience, not based on words, but on images, eyes, and details. A man killed thousands of years ago still tells us a tale of loss, love, anger, and regret. Have you seen the movie? What did you think of it? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you liked the story, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next story.